Hi, YouTube. Thank you so much for coming to my Amway live stream. I'm really excited to be here and to continue chatting about Amway. I hope everyone had a great week. We actually got our ND mattress set up, and it is fantastic to have a real bed that does not hurt your back when you try to sleep. I have literally not slept on my back in like 2 years because of our stupid bed. And so I'm really excited to have a proper bed finally. What are you guys up to this weekend? We are going to my in law's house tomorrow, and then on Sunday, I'm gonna go pick up my new glasses on Sunday. Got glasses, and I don't know what else we're gonna do, but let me know what you're doing. Oh, something's caught in my throat. Mark says Amway again. Yes, all the Amway. Hi, Heather. Congrats on 300 subs. Thank you for that. I credit DC because she was really funny in one of her streams and she was encouraging her people to go subscribe to me. So thank you, DC, for helping me get to that milestone. It's pretty cool. Hi, Gary. How's it going? Thank you for joining. So today I might or may not have issues with my computer. I was I'm on Chrome and I had the video on Chrome as well, but then even on like a private window and we have an ad blocker, it was showing ads like every 2 seconds. And so I'm on Chrome on StreamYard, but then my video is on Firefox in a private window. So hopefully everything works and nothing is weird. And I might have my face on small because I was also freezing a crap ton earlier as well. Let me make sure I'm clicking on the right video here. Yeah, so I will start with my face big. I'll start with my face big, and then if my computer's being an asshole, then I will switch it. So, hi, DC. Thank you for joining. DC just did a like 5-hour stream that I went in and out of throughout the day about Jessie Lee Ward's The Empire training event, like the event for her downline that she calls the Empire. So if you want, go watch that. It was great. I don't know how DC did that for 5 hours. I would not have been able to handle it. I can barely handle like an hour and a half on here. So it was fantastic. Great job. So these two people are Hal and Michelle Newball. Usually I like to read the distributors' little bios on of unofficial Amway wiki, but I did not see anything there. If anyone knows anything about these two people, let me know. Let me know if you know anything about them. Unfortunately, there's no picture, it's just audio. So we're going to listen to a speech. Okay, I'm ready.
Hal and Michelle Newball.
Good to see you guys. Thank you. Thank you. That's exciting. Thank you, guys. Well, I started the weekend by asking the question, is there a diamond in the house?
Probably not, Michelle. There's probably no diamonds in the house.
That's a better answer. That's a great answer. So that's what we're going to talk about. Being a diamond is really where it's at. Of course, there's millions of dollars above diamondship, but we really want to get you started on thinking diamond, walking diamond, being a diamond, and expecting diamondship. I think our topic today is proper structure, and the guru here is going to talk about all of that. But let me just share with you a couple things, and I will get you started. It's a good feeling to be on Sunday because it sort of wraps up the whole weekend. And this weekend has been on teaching, and it's a very good thing that all of your leaders had a teaching topic, and I hope that you took a lot of different notes for you to get started. And one of the things I wanted to share myself today is,
can we hear this? I don't know if I shared it properly, and I'm suddenly worried that no one can hear the video, and I've just been playing it for a minute. So I'm going to just make sure that I was clicked the proper buttons. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear. We'll see. Who knows? So she's just introducing her husband right now, and we know that you have to edify people in network marketing. And so Michelle is going to be edifying her husband, who is the actual distributor in Amway.
Really the reality that we live. I know most of the TV shows, the media has featured a whole lot of reality shows and sharing with you how people go through certain challenges, whether or not it's diet or this or that. So we're going to talk to you, and I'm going to talk to you today about my reality show.
Since my StreamYard doesn't always show all of the comments like right away, I just went on to YouTube and I saw Lift Panic say we can hear. Thank you, Lift Panic. I was stressed out for a second because there was no option to click share audio. So thank you, and I won't stress out anymore.
Reality show is who I live with. This is a diamond guy. So I'm going to share with you what we live like and how I have learned how to live as a diamond with my husband.
So I named this stream Live a Diamond Life because of the statement. I have learned how to live as a diamond with my husband, and I can't imagine thinking of my life with my spouse in terms of my MLM rank. It's not, we learn to live with excitement and be happy and excited for every day that we have together. No, we learned how to live a diamond life together. So you have to talk diamond, walk diamond, be diamond, and that's how you'll be successful in Amway. That part just really made me shocked a little bit. I can't imagine categorizing your relationship based on your MLM rank.
And to begin, I'm probably going to do a little bit of affirmation, and I hope that maybe that will suit you, your personality in terms of affirmation. And this is taken from a book that we've been reading for the last couple of weeks, and it's called The Traveler's Gift. And some of you may have read that book in the past. It's a really nice book, and you can find it on Barnes and Noble. And The Traveler's Gift also comes with a DVD. It's very powerful. It's about 7 decisions, and it takes you through history in sharing with you 7 decisions that are very important for you to become successful. But I've chosen one of the 7 decisions that is very fitted for my husband, and I'm going to share that with you. That decision is called I am a person of action. And that's typically how beginning today.
I am a person of action. That's typical of Hal Newball. So we know in MLM, you can never just think anything through. You always have to just take action, right? You have to jump in head first. You have to not do research. You have to not listen to the idle chatter of monkeys, which she will say later. Or I think he says it, or I think Michelle says it. You have to not listen to the idle chatter of monkeys, and you need to stay focused on your MLM. And that's the only way that you're going to find success. So see, I did not see these comments, and now they're popping up. We can hear. Thank you, Lift Panic. Hey, Lift Panic, Mark, and Gary. And then Lift Panic says hi. And then Mark says, hey, DC, great videos. I agree. DC, your videos, 5-hour-long videos today were fantastic. Great commentary.
Create a new future by creating a new me.
I don't know how to center myself. I'm like, every time I look back at my videos, I'm like, I am sitting off to one side so bad. Like, I don't know how to do this, but whatever, it's fine. Who cares? Hey, just got home right on time. Ooh, hello, Hall. Thank you for joining. We just started. She's just edifying her husband, who's going to come on and talk. And she's talking about how her husband, Hal, is a man of action.
No longer will I dwell in a pit of despair, mourning over wasted time and lost opportunity. I do nothing about the past. My future immediate.
That's technically correct. Like, we can't change the past. There's no point in sitting there and dwelling on things that have happened previously and like worrying about it too much. But in the MLM context, it's like, oh, 100 people left from your downline and you're not making any money now. There's no point in dwelling on the past. You just have to look forward because your future is immediate. And so a lot of the things they tell us in these videos are really reasonable when applied to everyday life. But in the MLM context, it's a bit different.
it with both hands and carry it with running feet. When I am faced with the choice of doing nothing or doing something, I always choose to act. I seize this moment and I choose now. That is so true. Hal is a person of action. He is energetic, as you could have said last night. He moves really quickly. Knowing that laziness.
Okay, so she said something along the lines of like, crap, I had a really good point in my head and I don't remember what it was. Has that ever happened to you guys? Like you have something really insightful to say and then you just completely lose it? Okay, maybe I'll remember later.
And he creates a habit of lively behavior. He walks with a spring in his step and a smile on his face. The lifeblood rushing through his veins is urging him upward and forward into activity and accomplishment. Guys, you know that well.
I remember what it was now. And so we hear a lot of the times people will say, if you do nothing, then your situation will never change. And if you don't have $1,000, $500 to join the business, then you're always going to be miserable and you'll never be able to pay your bills or send your kids to university. So you have to take action and find a way to get the $1,000, $500 in order to get into the business because the business is how you will succeed, right? And the big saying is nothing changes if nothing changes. So take action despite the fact that you have no money.
Often prosperity hide from the sluggard, but the rich rewards come to the person who moves quickly. Hal is a person of action. He inspires others with his activities and is a leader. Leading is doing. To lead, you must move forward. Many people move out of the way for a person that is on the run, and others are caught up in his wake. Your core activity creates a wave of success for the people.
Is anyone understanding this? I don't really get what the point of this is. Like, some people move out of the way for a leader, other people follow the leader. Our core activity is creates a wave of success. Like, I don't really understand this part. I like the part when he comes in because he says more interesting things. Just an example of edification, though, you need to build up the speaker. You need to make sure everyone's really excited for them to come on. And then, like, that's your job. And it seems like, let me know if you've been in Amway and you understand this part, but did the partners, the wives generally have this role at these events? Like, did we often see like, oh my god, what was Bill's wife's name? Nancy? Did we often see Nancy or Birdie introduce Dex and Bill at these events? And were their speeches often like this, just in a really roundabout, confusing way, talking about how wonderful their husbands are? Let me know. We don't need to eat, just get that business in a box. Yes. Because stupid Amway products, that's going to help us pay our bills and buy bread for our kids. Great point.
Who follow. Your core activity must be consistent and must instill confidence in your leadership. As a leader, Hal has the ability to encourage and inspire others to greatness. An army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep.
I think she's trying to get at here that it doesn't. If you're in Amway and you have Hal as your leader, then you have everything you need to find success because an army of lions led by a sheep is going to be defeated by an army of sheep led by a lion. So it doesn't really matter like who you are or your background or your existing skills and knowledge, as long as you have a good leader in Amway and you follow their structure. And like Hal says, you counsel with your upline and you do exactly what they say and you structure your business in the way Hal tells you to, then you will find success. He's coming on soon, I promise.
Hal is a person of action. He can make a decision and he makes it now. When faced with a decision, many people say they're waiting for a sign from God. I understand that in most cases, God is waiting for you. He has given me and you a healthy mind to gather and sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. Hal is strong and his vision is very clear. Successful people make their decisions quickly and change their decisions and mind slowly.
Successful people make decisions quickly. So if Hal and Michelle approaches us about the Amway business and they're like trying to pitch us, we're a prospect, then we're not successful if we don't just accept it quickly, if we don't like take in the information only that they're giving us. We don't seek outside information and then we just use that to make a decision right on the spot. And that means we're going to be successful. So are they insinuating that if we take the time to think about it and analyze the info that we have available to us, does that mean we're not going to find success? I wonder. So the reps are the sheep. Maybe that's a great point. And I would not appreciate being called a sheep.
Failures make their decisions very slowly and change their minds quickly. Your decisions, my decisions, should come quickly and they should lead to victory. Hal is a person of action. He is daring and he's courageous. Fear has no place in his life. He does not fear gossip. He does not fear opinions or the idle chatter of monkeys. They're all the same to him. He does not fear
The gossip does not mean people who are saying, hey, is this a pyramid scheme? Hey, are you going to lose money? That's not gossip. That's not the idle chatter of monkeys. We know that anything in any narrative, any rhetoric that's not directly related, directly supportive to Amway, to any MLM, is considered toxic, is considered negative. And we know we've learned on this channel that Dexter Yeager, his big saying was like, get away from the negative dream stealers. And we've heard from people in the chats on these videos that like Dexter and Amway, but Dexter specifically, his ideology, his narrative would really drive wedges between like husband and wife and family members and friends because they had it beat into them that my husband is trying to steal my dream. They do not support me, they do not love me, and that's why they're questioning me. I did not explain that. It's smoke and mirrors, people. Yes, that's a great point. This is super culty. I know. And the good part hasn't even started yet. I don't think Hal's, I was going to say, I don't think Hal's part is particularly culty, but it's culty in some areas. I want to get on Heather's level for breaking these videos down. You're awesome, Heather. Oh, I thank you. That's so nice. I think my overthinking brain helps me do pretty good commentary on these videos because I think about like every single word that they say and how someone who doesn't have like the background knowledge may what's the word? Oh my God, may understand it. And so I think like my brain helps me do that, but thank you. Are they suing you, Heather? No. No, Amway would not look at a miniature channel like this for sure. And this is also public Amway's bot.
failure. Failure exists only for the person who quits. Hal does not quit.
False, sir, or ma'am, false. We've heard Rich DeVos say this constantly. You can't fail in Amway. You only fail if you quit. Oh, that person failed. That person said that she lost all the money. That's because she didn't do what the Amway Corporation told her to do. And what exactly did the Amway Corporation tell them to do in like the 80s and 90s? Do you think it was the 5 to 6 nights a week like Dexter told everyone to do? Or did they have like a different method? I don't know.
Hal is courageous. Hal is a leader. Hal sees the moment. He chooses now. Hal is a person of action. And indeed he is. He's my husband. Here is your Hal Newball.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I think Michelle is preparing for that $500,000 check.
Mark or anyone else who's been in Amway, do you know what he means? If you get 2 diamond, do you get a $500,000 check? We saw Dexter Yeager win like $3 million on stage for getting to, I think it was 65 founders something points. I used to know all about it. I don't remember. I called it Dexter wins all the money. He got like $3 million. Is there a bonus for hitting diamond? That's my question.
Well, what a great weekend, huh? Come on, guys, get excited. Good, good. That sounds better. It was a great weekend, starting with the Platinum meeting on Friday afternoon. And it's gotten better. Your speakers, your upline diamonds and emeralds, your leaders, just been phenomenal this past weekend. And I hope you took a lot of notes, because if you did, you're going to be rich. You're going to be able to.
If you take a lot of notes at our useless conference, you're going to be rich. I was going to say it there on the, I'm pointing at it like you can see it. You're going to be filthy rich. I think it was in DC stream today when we saw people at the front of the Empire U conference with a notebook in their hands, and I'm thinking, what are they writing down? And then I think either DC or someone in her chat said, what are they writing? Half the time I wonder, what are you writing? I think there's a tiny portion of this 25-minute speech is actually worth writing notes, because it's actual tangible things that someone would need to do. The rest of it, I don't know what you would write. I just got here, so glad to catch you live. Is this meeting going on now or recorded? Thank you for joining, Anne-Marie. I really appreciate it. It's really cool that you're here. This is probably very old. We've listened to other speeches on this channel, and a few of them have said 2010. I'm not sure though, because this is posted about like 8 months ago, but I do not think it's current. And they're talking about Bill Britt, like he is still with us. And we know that Bill, he passed away, unfortunately, in 2018. This is older, yes. And Anne-Marie, I really like watching really old Amway content. So this is I'm guessing maybe 2010, but there's some stuff on my channel from like early 2000s. I think the oldest video I had might have been from like the 70s or something. Yeah. And then, oh, you just said thank you to Lift Panic. Okay, so Mark said up here, it's possible you don't know for sure. Are you referring to Amway suing me in my miniature channel? If they were petty, sure, I guess it's possible, but I think they would probably worry more about people who have big platforms, you know? But you never know, you're right.
Okay, I'm going to talk about proper structure.
I'm pausing a lot. Hi, Jeanette. Thank you for joining. We're watching an Amway stream, and it's Hal and Michelle Newball. It's a recorded speech from probably 2010-ish.
My ideal is that at least 90% of this business is attitude. You know what the other 10% is? The other 10% is attitude. Because if you got the right attitude, you'll do whatever it takes to succeed. And when I got started,
it's if you're willing to set aside your boundaries, if you're willing to neglect your relationships with your spouse or significant other and not be present with your children, then you could find success in Amway, because you have to show the plan 5 or 6 nights a week. You have to listen to all the tapes, and you have to go to all the events, which he will describe soon.
My sponsor said, Hal, He's most excited about your attitude. And I felt good. I said, this guy's smart. He realizes, I got what it takes to succeed. And then he said, you've got more potential for changing your attitude than anyone else I knew. And that sort of took me by surprise. What does he mean by that? And so he continued. He said, thank God for the potential that you have, because if you did not have the potential to change your attitude, he said, there's no way you'd make it in this business. And
I think when we're at work, there are certain things that we do have to change, right? So I'm in a professional work environment, so that means I can't wear like sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I need to like put a little bit of effort into my appearance, which is not normal for me. I went out and bought some nicer tops and like dress pants, and I have black sneakers, and I have to be more professional. Like, I'm not going to sit there and swear in the office. And if I'm like meeting with a high up person in the organization, then I'm going to be even more professional than when I'm talking to my boss. That's fine. That's reasonable. However, in an MLM, I think in Amway, what we've learned throughout the decades watching these videos is that you have to change how you interact with people, how you think, how you talk. You have to change how you go out in public with your kids. You have to change how you talk to service people. You have to change how you enjoy a dinner with your spouse. You have to change everything. And then Mark said they work 60 hours a week, likely. Probably with all the crap he's going to tell us to do. I don't doubt that.
that's all that. So I had to change my attitude, and believe it makes all the difference. So let's just take a couple minutes and talk about proper structure. Now, I am just here as a warm-up speaker for Bill Britt. Bill Britt's going to be talking about 66866. And there are a couple tapes that you need to get, CDs or tapes. And one of them is entitled 66866. Get that CD and listen to it over and over and over again.
I Googled it. I wanted to listen to it. Obviously, it's secret. It's not on the internet.
That CD is available all over the world, and you need to have that. That's Bill Britt at his best. And here's another Bill Britt at his best. How to Go Diamond. Bill Britt talks about how to go in 2 years. So get it.
That's funny. 2 years, Bill, because according to your Amway bio page, it took you 3 years in 1970 to go diamond. Took Rocky Covington like 5 years. It took Bert a while. Bert Gulick, remember we listened to 2 of his tapes? It took Bert a long time to get to diamond in the 70s as well. And so it's comical to hear someone say 2 years when these really big tie-out people took them much longer in the 70s when less people knew how much of a scam Amway is. I don't like that. Just be honest about it. Be like, on average, if you actually get to diamond, it might take you 10 years. He is an awful speaker. Yes, he is not as bad as Bobby Harris. Remember that friend who kept saying hello, and does that make sense? Bobby Harris is worse, in my opinion. I think his speech was really hard to listen to.
I listened to it again way down here from Maryland, and just a lot of powerful information. Now, this is what Bill Britt says on that tape, 66866. By the way, if you hear anything different from what Bill Britt teaches, you listen to Bill Britt. But this is what he teaches. To build a business, to get to diamond. And that's what we're going to talk about. Now, I can teach you how to get to diamond because we're diamonds. But this is what you need to do. You need to sponsor 6 people initially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you sponsor another 6. This is the big picture, okay? And then you sponsor another 8. And then you sponsor another 6. And then another 6. How much is that? 32. It's called 6, 6, 8, 6, 6. That will get you to diamond, no question about it.
That confuses me because we've seen in other places that it takes you have to have 6 people to go diamond, and I think I asked Mark in a past stream, if it's only 6 people, why does it take people so long to get there? And I think Mark said lots of people will quit and leave, and you have to keep replacing people. But now he's saying 32. I was just double checking it. You can't see because of my blur. I was just double checking it to make sure his math was correct. But like Lip Panic just said, wow, that'll be easy. Only 32. And he's gonna say the average width of a diamond is 32. And I think that's kind of like a bait and switch, like we hear in Beachbody too. They'll say diamond is only 12 people, and only 8 of those people are yours. But in reality, you need 4 people on one side, 4 people on another. One person on one needs to have 2 people. One person on another needs to have 2 people. And then all those people need to have a certain amount of volume. And so it's not just having 12 people, it's having 12 people in the correct spots, meeting the correct requirements and maintaining their specific ranks. So it sounds easy to just get 6 people, and then we just hear now that you need 32 people in order to get to diamond. That's crazy. Maybe that's why it takes people 5 years in the 70s.
I suggest you do what I'm going to do. I'm going to print about 500 checks. Go to your computer and print out a check to you for $500,000. And I want you to make at least 20 copies of that. Make sure your name in there, okay? Or your wife's name, because she'll probably spend it. Put your name in there and put those checks on the wall, in your bathroom, in the kitchen, everywhere around the house. Will you do that? It'll make a difference. Let's get back to 66866.
So we need to print out a bunch of checks, put $500,000 and post it around our house. We see that a lot in Monate when people hold like those massive like cardboard checks that have like $10,000 on them or something. And it's because if you can see it, then it can happen in real life. And if you see it all over the place, all over your house, then like it could motivate you, right? Because you could see what you're working towards. But it's really hard to get 32 people to join a pyramid scheme. And this is current day, yes, but I'm sure it was also hard in 2010-ish to get that many people. And I love hearing people in MLMs talk about how to rank advance, because notice it's never about how much you sell to customers. It's always about the number of people. We heard Doug Moss in a video a million years ago on my channel, VP of whatever in Beachbody, and he told us how many coaches we need to have in order to build our weak leg volume of literally 100 points, only 100 points. And I was thinking, Doug, why can't we just sell that to customers in order to build our volume? And we know why, because we know the products don't really matter. You do not rank advance. You do not hit your volume requirements through selling to actual customers. You need recruits. You need warm bodies. I'm like swinging my hands around. They're selling a dream. Yes, they sure are. And no one needs a $500,000 check, you know? It's a money transfer scheme. Maybe.
What Bill Bridge says is you sponsor 6, and then you sponsor another 6, and this 12 will get you to silver and then to platinum. And the first month that you hit, you go out and you sponsor another 8, and the 12 plus the 8, that will get you to emerald. And then the first month that you got 3 in qualification for emerald, you go out, you sponsor another 6, and then another 6, and this now will get you to diamond. Is everybody with me?
Did anyone catch how you get to emerald? Because like I wonder, like he just said these people get to emerald if you sponsor this many people, and he's saying 66866, sure, and then you get to diamond, but you need to have people underneath you getting to emerald, and you need people getting to silver in order for you to get to diamond. And so it's not just 66866. It's probably like 6 and then like 14 and then 6 and like 22. You know what I mean? Because you have to have your pyramid just expanding. It has to be continually expanding on different levels.
The average diamond, I was told, has a personal width of about 35. So if that's your goal, that $500,000, you need to sponsor at least 32.
Compare that to freaking Beachbody, where like the actual requirements for your like personal width, your personally sponsored, is a lot lower. It's more about what's in the middle and the bottom of your pyramid. But here, you need to have a wide ass first leg, and then it probably needs to go even wider from there. 32 to 35 personally sponsored is crazy. That's the Beachbody lingo, sorry. 32 in your personal width. That's a lot. That's too much. It's just that easy, right? Just recruit a crap ton of people and make sure they magically get to emerald and like sapphire or whatever, and then you'll be rich.
All right, let's break this down a little bit. Let's take the first 12. The first 12 that you're going to sponsor. Now, I have a number of people who sponsor 3 and they say, man, I got my membership. And it's not.
Okay, so maybe the minimum requirement for emerald is 3, right? And so he's saying you sponsor this many people and like these people go emerald. And so you have to have a certain number of people underneath you that have at least 3 people under them. And then Mark said free Amway book, Eric Scheibler. Ooh, interesting. Was he in Amway? Maybe I'll check it out.
Up. And then there are others who sponsor 6 and they say, I got my 6 for diamond. And they stop. Well, don't stop. Go to 12. And don't ask me why. I can tell you why, but just go do it. Okay? Well, let me just give you an example of something that really happened. Okay? This is in actuality. That's number 1. And this is number 12. Which means that this is number 8. And someone went out and sponsored 12 personal legs. And how many
personal legs just mean they brought in 12 people directly.
Do you expect from 12 personal legs? About 3. If you're lucky, 4. You may only get 2. Well, in this case, they sponsored 12 personal legs.
I highly doubt that's true, even though I have no idea how one gets to platinum in Amway. Just because you have 12 people does not mean that 2 or 3 of those people are actually going to recruit other people and you're actually going to get to diamond. It doesn't matter. I feel like MLM is a numbers game in the sense that like you need to just keep having people cycling into your downline, but it's not a numbers game in the sense that you could personally recruit 100 people and all of those people could recruit 0 people, or they could all quit and you're not going to rank advance. And then Mark said, yes, Dexter's downline. Ooh, interesting.
And number 12 was their first platinum. And then number 11 turned out to be their second platinum. And then number 8 turned out to be their third platinum. Now let me ask you a question. It's not a trick question, but it's a very important question. If this individual had only sponsored 6 people, how many platinums would they have gotten? 0. If they had sponsored...
This is quite the riddle. I'm not following this at all. The main lesson we can get from this, though, is you will not rank advance in Amway and get any kind of fancy bonus unless you recruit a bunch of people. You need to recruit a bunch of people who get to certain ranks, and those people need to maintain their ranks. I feel like I could have followed this if I had like written down what he's saying, but I think we get the picture.
8 personal legs, how many platinums would they have gotten? How many people say 1? Let me see your hands. This is a very educated crowd. How about if he had sponsored 11 people, how many platinums would he have gotten? How many people say 2? No 2s? You guys are so smart. You're absolutely right, because if he had sponsored only 11 people, he would have gotten 0 platinums. Well, because he sponsored 12, who became his first platinum, and number 12 got number 11 excited, so he got 2, and number 11 got number 8 excited, so he got 3, and that's what you'd expect. But
if we recruited 11 people, we're not getting a platinum, but our 12th is magically the one who's going to become platinum, and then they're going to inspire number 8, number 11, and number 8. And that's what we can expect. That will always happen. I want to see some stats. I want to see some proof. That's so silly. There are 4. What does "init" mean? What do you mean? Do you mean like anti-Amway books on the net, and they're free? Ooh, yeah, Mark, I did write down Eric Scheibler in my phone, and I will definitely go check that out.
Only sponsored 11 people, he would have gotten 0 platinums. Is everybody with me? Stop questioning your upline. If your upline says go out and sponsor 12 personal legs, get the job done and stop asking stupid questions, okay? Is everybody with me?
If your upline tells you to recruit 12 people, just do it. Don't question things. Don't wonder if what you're doing is unethical, if it crosses your moral boundaries. Just do it, because your upline, we hear this a lot, your upline is never going to give you advice that will hinder or hurt their income. So you just have to go do it. You're not supposed to analyze any information. You're not supposed to critique them. You're supposed to just do what they say. Did anyone watch Julie Anderson's video on Ray Higdon during the pandemic and his like for the rank makers, he was giving out scripts for his members, right? And then someone was like, "Hey, Ray, can you help us figure this out? Because people are getting bad reactions to this script when they're going out to talk to prospects, and can you help us?" And instead of being like, "Oh yeah, here's some other ways to fix it if you're uncomfortable with this script," he just yelled and demeaned the person that asked him a really reasonable, basic question, and he just tore them down. In MLM, you are not supposed to question your leader. I'm like flinging my hands around. Okay. Can't believe how much he is misrepresenting the effort required, right? It's just magically easy to go out and get 12 people. And then out of those 12 people, it's just going to magically happen that you'll have 3 platinums right away. It's that easy. People don't stay with it, losing money. Yeah. Very, very sad. Merchants of Deception. Okay, when I click play, I will put that in my phone. Thank you. Your downline has bills to pay. Yep. Yeah, they do. And like the sad part is people at the top of these companies, they know that their downline isn't making any money. They know it, and they're still selling the dream, like Mark said earlier.
All right. Now, this is what Bilbert says. You need to put...
Hey, Avery, thank you for joining. We're watching another Amway video, and this guy is telling us about how to structure our business and get to diamond.
IDOs in batches. You need to put them in batches. Go out and sponsor 6 as fast as you can. Sponsor 6 as fast as you can. And for each one that you sponsor, your goal is to do 5 to 7 meetings. And the reason to do
Where's the time freedom? So we have to sponsor 6 people immediately, and then we have to do 5 meetings with each person. So we have to do 30 meetings with them. Where's the time freedom? We know there is none in Amway. Good way to end my night with a live. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it.
5 to 7 meetings is to answer the question, go or no go. That's go, G-O, or no go. That's what those 5 to 7 meetings are for. If you do 5 to 7 meetings and you found out that you got someone who's not ready, leave them alone. Go find somebody else. Are you with me? But for each...
So the people who aren't ready to actively recruit, but just might want to sell some products, you just leave them alone because they're not going to make you that much money. We know that's the truth in MLM. We know this, but it's just sad to hear.
These 6 people, you want to do 5 to 7 meetings to answer the question, is this a go or a no go? All right? Now, let's say you sponsor this number 1. And you start doing some meetings. How do you decide whether it's a go or no go? I'm looking for 4 things. I'm looking for 4 things. And let's let A equal an ace. Okay, let me put these in different colors. Okay, A is in black, and that's an ace. K is in red, and that's equal to a king. And then, let's see, let me get the blue. And Q is in blue, and that equals a queen. And then, let's get a green. Let's get a green. And then you've got J, who is in green, and that's a jack. Now you're looking for someone who's got a good hand of cards. So
Liv Panic said, okay, he lost me. I know it's really weird, but what he's going to say will make sense after. He's just trying, like he's explaining it really weirdly. I agree it's confusing, but you'll see.
I'm ready to win that game. What you got to do is to ask the following questions about each individual that you sponsor. Let's say A stands for ace. That's in black. And A equals showing the plan 5 STPs per week.
Anyone know what 5 STPs means? Like 5 STPs, because you're supposed to show the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. So what is STP? Does anyone know? Gibberishish. I know, right? It's literally just a way to like organize the people you're having the meetings with, so you can go look back and see who is serious about the business and who is not serious about the business. But it's overly complicated. He could have like 5 or 6 nights a week. He could have done like 5/6, and that could have been what 5 and 6 nights a week. Like that could have symbolized 5 to 6 nights a week. He's making it very, very complicated.
And when you go to counsel with your upline, and I'm going to repeat that word over and over and over, go counsel with your upline. This is general suggestion, but for each individual, for each leg, you got to counsel with your upline and find out where to put your time. So A is equal ace, that's in black. That's when someone's doing 5 plans per week minimum. And K is for king. And let's say that's for someone who is on standing order tapes or CD and books. And let's say Q is for queen.
Okay, so first we have our 6 people that we went out and recruited right away, because Bill Britt teaches us that we need to bring in IBOs, independent business owners, in batches. Okay, so We have those 6 people that we got quickly, and then we're having 5 to 7 meetings with each of them to determine whether it's a go or no go. So far, we've heard first, we have to mark whether or not the person is either showing the plan or is willing to show the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. Second, we have to indicate whether or not this person is on standing order for tool scan materials, books, tapes, CDs, whatever. Now it's like website stuff, right? And so those are the first two principle not principles, what am I trying to say? First two things that will show us whether or not someone is serious.
And I make that queen because the lady is responsible for doing the 300 PV per month. Okay, the guy, he shook.
The lady is responsible for doing 300 PV per month. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Greetings from Vancouver Island. Hello, Tatiana. Thank you for joining us. We're watching an Amway video. So fun to hear when I have fellow Canadian friends in the chat. So welcome. I hope you're doing well, and I hope the weather's nice in Vancouver right now. So anyone know what that means? Like, the ladies were responsible for getting 300 PV. Does that mean they go out and like actually sell to customers worth 300 personal volume points, or are they just buying 300 PV? Which one? Which one is it? I'd like to know if anyone knows the answer to that.
Plan. The lady is responsible for generating 300 PV. And what's the other one? Functions. Okay. That's a J, by the way. Okay. J is for Jack, and that's for someone who is attending all the functions. Please listen to me. I learned this from my upline, Al Frantono. Now, Al's an engineer, executive diamond, very successful. I got into the business. I got 28 years of education. I was a little bit slow.
So I'm going to forget if I don't say it now. So the way we determine whether they're a go or no go is first, are they on a standing order for tapes? Do they show the plan 5 to 6 nights a week? Do they go to conferences? And do they have their 300 personal volume points requirement? Okay, so if a person is not doing all of that, then they're not serious about their business. And so in Amway, if you're not purchasing Bill Britt's products, then you're not serious about your business. You're not going to all the Brit Worldwide event. You're not serious about your business, even though you're probably losing money in Amway and you are going to the events and buying the products is literally going to make you go into even greater debt. Yeah. I didn't explain that clearly, but option 2 probably. What's that referring to? Is it something I said? Sorry, I don't remember. I live in like the western portion of the country. I don't want to say exactly where, but like west-ish area of Canada. Most of their income is from the tools. Yes, for sure. Oh, Tatiana's in Victoria too. What are the chances? Oh, that's nice. Okay, so yeah, it was a really roundabout way of just telling us about what it takes for a person to be serious about their Amway business. So then if someone will go to Hal and say, hey, Hal, I'm not making any money, I'm going into debt, then he'll be like, well, it means that you're going into debt because you are not going to the conferences. Well, Hal, I don't have any money to go to the conferences. Well, downline, if you don't invest in yourself and in your business and get to the conferences, you will never have money. Nothing changes if nothing changes. 5 minutes left.
So that's why it took me 28 years. 12 years of high school, 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 4 years of internship and residency, another 4 years of fellowship. 28 years of education. I got through as a professor of medicine at Johns Hopkins Medical School, but I was broke. Working 100 hours a week, making a little over $100,000 a year, and I'm broke.
How is he broke if he was a doctor? Even if he had some debt, you're making $100,000 a year and you're broke. I don't understand that. I feel like that doesn't add up. Also, the fact that he's a doctor, he's extremely well educated, and he's in Amway. I've said this 1,000 times. Anytime any kind of professional with education is in an MLM, it just makes it seem like a more legitimate opportunity, especially if he's promoting the health and wellness related products of Amway. It makes it more likely for people to join underneath him. I noticed I was gonna say I only had one tick of internet service for a while, but I'm back up. He's a Borg speaker. Yes, he is for sure.
And I found a guy, Al Frantantino, engineer, who was totally free, financially free, and a multimillionaire. You know what I did? I humbled myself. I went down to his place on a weekly basis. I sat at his feet and I learned from him. And everything that I know about building this business, I learned from Al Fratt. And this is what Al Fratt told me. He says, when you come to counsel with me, I want you to draw out your circles. And I want you to code them so I know whether the person is serious or not. For example, let's take number one. If number one is showing the plan, then I want you to put an A next to him, okay? And that way I know this guy is showing the plan. If in addition to that, he is on standing order tapes and books, then I want you to put a K there also. And then in addition to that, if they're doing 300 PV, I want you to put a queen. Okay, Q for queen in blue. And then in addition to that, if he is coming to all functions, I want you to put a, and when I see some,
I wonder why our uplines would be so interested. It's because he just told us that in order for us to get to diamond, we need people beneath us to get to platinum. And our upline wants to be this involved in our business in order for that person to maintain their rank. I also highly doubt that a high up upline is going to have like regular counsel where their downline bows to their feet. So weird and culty. I highly doubt someone with at least 35 people, if they're a diamond, probably a lot more. I highly doubt that someone with that many people is going to meet with them that much and literally go through every single circle, every single person that their downline member has. Mark, anyone who's been in Amway, is this real? Is your upline that actively involved in your business? Also, why does your upline need to be this involved? If it's our own business, why do we need to go talk to our upline on a daily basis? That seems more like an employee-employer relationship. Okay, Mark said they pay the PhDs big money. Oh, interesting. He makes it sound like a religious enlightenment, right? It's like, I humble myself at his feet. How weird.
one with KQJ, I know that guy is serious. That guy has a good hand of cards. That guy is ready to build a business. Is everybody with me? And you do that for each individual when you go to see your upline to counsel. All right? So do that for each individual. The circles talk to you. When people come to counsel with me, you know what I do? I ask questions. Let them make the decisions. Just look at your circles, see who's doing what. And for the people who are serious, like this one, 5 to 7 meetings. You do 5 to 7 meetings and decide go or no go.
Okay, I was wrong. I misunderstood this. I thought we were doing the 5 to 7 meetings to figure out if they're going to the events, if they have 300 PV, if they're standing order for tapes, and if they show the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. I thought that's what we did throughout the 5 to 7 meetings. But we figure out those 4 things first, and then we go and do the 5 to 7 meetings, right? Is that what you got to? How much does our downline have to prove that they're serious? I feel like this is kind of like showing that we're worthy of our upline's time. We have to meet their little checklist. They have to check off all the boxes. And then once they figure out that we will probably be able to make them some money if we stay in long enough, then they will grace us with their presence. We see that a lot in Beachbody, where people have to get to diamond in order to receive any kind of support or training. And I wonder, how are people supposed to get to diamond if their upline won't give them any information? Like, why do we need to earn our training? Doesn't make sense. Jesus loves MLM companies. He keeps sending the opportunity to people. Yeah. Ugh. And Dexter and Bill, their speeches are overtly religious, and they'll talk about how God has put all these people in their lives, and God has, oh, Rich has said this, God has his hand on Amway, right? Yeah, so I feel like I agree with Tatiana, like this has religious undertones, but other Amway speeches are overtly, obviously religious. And yet, no downlines equals no money. Almost done, like 2 minutes.
Is everybody with me? Folks, you need to counsel with your upline on a regular basis. If you're not growing, then you need to see the doctor. Okay? Who's your upline? If you're growing fast, you need to see the doctor. You need to see your upline on a frequent basis and have him go through with you what your structure is and where to spend your time. Because the amount of time that you spend with each leg and the way you build each leg varies from one to another. I can't tell you that. Your upline will tell you that. Your mission should be to sponsor 12 personal legs in the next 3 months. That's one per week. If you will do that, there was a BWW.
Why do we need to sponsor 12 people in 3 months? Why? Not because it's going to bring us any financial gain, because it's going to bring our upline and their upline and their upline financial gain. Notice it's not sell this much within 3 months. It's always about the number of recruits that you get through the door.
W. Diamond called his group together. He says, who's serious? Who wants to become a platinum? And for those who said they were serious, he said, okay, you got to sponsor 12 personal legs in the next 90 days. Please listen to me. Of the people who sponsored 12 personal legs in 90 days, every single one became a platinum. How many people out here, honest to goodness, and don't lie, because if you lie, I pray your big toe turns green and falls off. So don't lie to me, okay? But how many people, honest to goodness, you're serious about becoming a platinum and get about $20,000? Good. If you want to do that, go out and sponsor 12 personal legs in the next 90 days and find out how to do it from your upline, because my time's out. Enjoy talking 500.
So that's all I had for today. So what did we learn? We learned that in order to have success in Amway, we are supposed to just do what our upline tells us to do during our frequent counseling sessions, where we drop ourselves down to their feet for some reason. We do exactly what they tell us to do and not ask stupid questions. We have to recruit 6 people, then 6 people, 6, 6, 8, and then 8 people, then 6, then 6. In order to get to diamond, we need to have at least 12 recruits in order to have 3 people go platinum. What else? We have to rank all of our new recruits and to determine whether or not they're going to all the events. They're going into even greater debt by purchasing the tool scan materials. They are, oh my God, what was the other ones? 300 personal volume and showing the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. But what about time freedom? 5 to 6 nights a week. I want to hang out with my spouse and watch Netflix and hockey. I don't want to run around and talk to people 5 to 6 nights a week. No, thank you. And what else? I think that was all. I think those were the main learnings. Let me know if I forgot any of the learnings. Oh, and we need to go out and recruit 12 people in 3 months. Lots of learnings today. Better than the learnings we had in the last stream, where it was literally like circle your hips around and look at the flowers, and then you'll find success in your MLM. But it's totally not a pyramid scheme. Yes, right? They all say that it's not a pyramid scheme. And then all they talk about is recruiting a crap ton of people who also recruit a crap ton of people. Boy, he'd be a barrel of laughs to work with. Thanks, Heather. I know, right? You're welcome. So I'm probably going to go live again on Sunday, and I did one video on Amazon business coaches who coach on fulfillment by Amazon, and then I found another one that is like twins who talk about Amazon publishing, and they have their own business training program as well. And I know it's not anti-MLM, but I feel like I might want to look into more of like business coaching scams, like in general, not specifically anti-MLM stuff. So I know it's not exactly what I usually do, but if that sounds interesting, then you can join us at some point on Sunday. If not, that's totally fine if you're not into that. Mark said, see you people on Sunday. Oh, good. That's awesome, Mark. I'm happy you'll be there. So yeah, thank you to all these friends who were in the chat. There was a good amount of people in here. It's really fun. And I'll see you guys on Sunday if you're free. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.